Hello there everyone, this is Neko here, getting ready to play StarRupture. So we're going to continue on, we're going to be setting up glass today. I'm also going to be showing you a trick on ore extractors. In other words, I'm going to show you a trick with these over here. And if you guys enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification. I try to show tips, tricks, helpful hints, like what I'm about to show now. However, I will say this, it does not work with helium. It does work with those. So I'll show you an example of what I mean by this. So when you go to the production, you go over to helium. You see here, when you put it on this, it says there's an overlapping building. And you might be wondering, well, duh. Even the ore extractors do the same thing. Yeah, there's a fun trick to that. And it involves the drone and a certain amount of distance, but as you can see here, it doesn't work. I've tried running around doing it. I might be able to make it work if I can go from here to here fast enough, maybe? But I don't have it set up for that, and that might be something I'll have to try later. But in the meantime, this trick does not work with helium. Now, if you guys come across this, it's possible because this is early access. The trick may be fixed before you guys ever get to try it. So now we're going to come over to here to the ore, and I'm going to show you the fun part. So right here, you'd be like, well, it's not working. What do you mean? Well, if you get a certain distance away, now it could work up close, but I noticed that you can see here that it snaps. Now if you get and a certain distance away, it will work. It takes a little bit for me to figure out the exact distance. Oh, there we go. See how it flashes blue for a second right there? If you do it correctly, usually at an angle like this, you can get it to work. You can see here, boom. If I do it again, oop, you can see I can get it to work. So now, I've just increased the yield of this one particular node by 4 times. So I am gonna make this the screenshot showing this gonna be like how to increase your mining resources by 4 times. Now, it isn't the main focus of the video because I just wanted to show you guys a trick on this. Now, for me, I take advantage of anything I can, even if it's not how you're supposed to do it, because it's fun. And, well, sometimes developers need to know about these tips, tricks, helpful hints, and bugs that you can potentially come across. But yeah, if you want to increase your yield, if you find this video soon enough, this is how you do it. Again, requires the drone, and it requires you to be about a certain distance away. Usually the max distance of the drone like this usually is what I find to be, and then you gotta come in at an angle to the grid. So if it's facing north and south like this, you want to come in at an angle like this. Same thing for the rest. As you saw, basically you can choose any angle you want as long as it's diagonal angle like that. That tends to be the easiest way to make this work. So anyways, for now we're not going to worry about that. I am going to show a base tour later on. Ooh, mama, that takes a lot of power. But for now we'll worry about this. We're gonna go back to, well, actually no, I'm gonna keep that for screenshot purpose. And you might, yeah, it looks like you do need to be a certain distance away. And usually if you can get your character back far enough and you do this with the drone, there we go. So for this, it looks like the drone at 3420 meters. Now I don't know if my character, if I can stand. Oh. Can I? Can I actually? Did I just figure out more to this? Won't connect there. Won't connect there. It will connect there, and it will connect there. So if I go to this and whee. Okay, nope. Looks like you can only do it that one. So if you double lap them like that, that does not work. There's no connections. But still, 4 times the process. I'm gonna stick with this one right here, because again, our main focus is producing glass. Now, I'm still working out the math. Again, I'm going to show you my base on everything I've got going so far.
I'm detecting increased rupture activity. Prepare for a wave.
I guess I was playing around too much. So we'll have to worry about setting it up later. But for now, let's just head over here. If I'm still working out the math for this setup, because right now, if you look at this, every 2 seconds it produces 8. If we come over and we look at this for glass, we need 1 every 3 seconds. So in 3 seconds, or this in 1 second will produce 4. And that means I think we can satisfy 4 of these, because this takes 1. So 4 of these in 1 second will be enough to take care of this, or be able to take care of. Again, I'm still working out the math. I'll show you my other areas that I've managed to figure it out, because it takes a little bit for my brain to process, and without being able to write it down and everything, my brain goes, what? And it's like, and then pretty much all you get confused, or you're like, knock it off, don't worry about it. But anyways, we're gonna watch the eruption, spend about 5 minutes dealing with this. Woo! Nothing in here, nothing in here, nothing. Yeah, kind of figured.
Rupture's eruption has started.
Oof,
Prepare
bright
for
light.
impact.
Incoming.
Extreme temperature detected.
Gotta love the bright light. Now it's gonna take a little bit for this to get fixed. In the meantime, still gotta work on finding the stabilizer. Still, we get that. Also gotta work on getting glass so we can get this. And we gotta work on finding the synthetic silicon blueprint. Because once we do that, we can work on... Oh, I don't have one of those thingies around here. This isn't gonna be the permanent spot for this little mini base that I've got going. I'm gonna be moving it around, but for now, we need heat, ceramics, glass, synthetic. If we look, I don't know, this doesn't seem to tell me the cost for synthetic, but I don't really care about this. Most of the stuff you have, you only need just like a small one of these, unless you're trying to pretty up and make the place look cool. What I do want to get to though is
planetary temperature. Returning
level
to normal.
9 for the automated defense, but that's a little ways off. Now that everything's back to normal, woo, we'll go and start playing with glass. Yeah, a bit hard to see. Ooh, power's not up yet. Nope, power's back. Yay! So, if I remember correctly, one of these impures will be able to deal the calcium block. Actually, I gotta make sure I have enough room. I think that should be enough room. So we'll lock it right there. One of these should be able to deal with one of those. So that will yield our 2 for 2. And then for the powder, which I think we need one of this, I think we needed 3. For it. Because if we go to here, it takes 1 and it takes 3 seconds and it produces 3. So that means this produces 2 every 2 seconds. So after 6 seconds, this will produce 4, or out 2, 4, 6. Yeah, my math is, again, on-camera math isn't my strong suit because I have to write it down and everything, but if I remember correctly, it was 1 of these to 3 of these. Because if you reduce this, it's 1 every 1 second, which means in 1 second you can supply 3 of these, and these take 3 seconds to produce 3. Now, again, math on camera, not the best. I'm pretty good at math, but I'm very slow at calculating it. It takes me a lot of long time to process the information in my head, and I usually write it down because I need to. Otherwise, I lose track and I forget, and then it's like, oops, well, sorry. Okay, you into here. This will take care of that. Then this should produce into there. Oh right, I don't have these chosen. So now that should go there, there, and there. We have our first one in here. It goes around. We got 2. We have 2, and it's done. 2 and done. So yeah, you can see here, it's basically, it's 1 of those to 3 of these. And you can see it takes care of themselves almost perfectly. Which means that's 2, and that produces 8. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna stop trying to do math for now and just work on getting this done. But now, after we get that, we need to get to glass, and to get the glass, we need to get you. We're going to lock you into place, move you forward by 1. So this produces 3 every 3 seconds, so 1. And this takes 2 every 3. 2 2 every 3. And that produces 3, so I think we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 of these, I think, to keep up with the glass demand. Dang it, I hate when that happens. Oops. Sometimes these don't, they get off grid for some reason. It's like, oops. Okay. If I remember, now I will go through and I will figure out the map. But for now, we're just getting this all slapped together. Oh, right, I'm gonna want to have helium coming in too, which means we need to have enough room to have helium come in. So we're gonna want to move these forward. We're gonna want to put that right there. Whee! Autosave. We're gonna turn that around. There. So that means now I should be able to... Actually, I should put that here and that. Drop that down by 1. Now that can go in and this can go up and in. And that should take care of that. Perfect. Now we'll get this all moved out of the way. Then I'll go show you my place. Right now I currently have 1, 2, 2 of my places set up. This is optimal setup. This is optimal setup for these ores here. This is optimal setup for this ore here. I still need to get these ones. I still need to get these ones. I still need to get this over here. And then I also need to get this over here. But again, this is all stuff that will be done. Okay, so that takes care of that. So now we can grab you. Lock you into place. Rocks in the way, but this takes up most of it, so it doesn't actually look like it's pretty bad. Doesn't look bad. So now we're going to want to get helium, which means we're gonna shrink that down. Then we're gonna go back over this way. I don't know how far we can reach, so actually that will be a great way to set this up. So we'll come over here, go back this way, and we'll set this up as far as this will allow us. And looks like right there. Oh, wait, what? Why didn't it make the line? I was expecting it to make the line. I was gonna have to... Oh, that's why. Weird. Oops. I'm still getting... I accidentally trigger the... or I'm not used to pressing some of the buttons, which results in me exiting out some of the times. Yay! But let's try this again. This time, hopefully, we don't get the too long. So there. So if I raise right there, perfect. Now we'll delete that because we're gonna have to have it come back. Now I am gonna try if I can max out these to perfect with these, then we'll have to split the excess helium from here off and have it go somewhere else for something
The
else.
Raptura is in its stable stage. The climate of Arcadia is returning to normal.
I think if we go from here to here, we can... Oh. Yeah, good enough. Gotta love when the thing comes back to normal. I am gonna add splits onto those, but for now, all the way down to there. Now we gotta come back over here. Grab this. Slap you onto there. Onto there. Onto here. And we'll get this onto that one. Once this is all set up, we'll have glass and we can start researching. Yay! Which will be very helpful. Now if I go to here, and I go from here to there, this should be good to go. Now, hopefully, this is all evened out like it needs to be. If not, well then, yay, math time off camera. Okay, glass, 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 and glass. Perfect. Now, the problem is I've got so much backlog in here, it's going to take care of these pretty easily. Go! Super train! Da, 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 da. Now, admittedly, the helium's going to go right through the line, but that's fine. Must be going to the end ones and then this way first. So... helium is good. I can't tell on this yet because we have too much of this backlogged. The only way I can tell is if I take out all of that from these
nice.
And we trash, and then from there see. Okay. Two. This one's getting more for some reason. This one's getting a lot more for some reason. So we may have to reorganize the direction of this because it all seems to be going towards these. If these were calling out just fine, I think we would be... yeah, so it looks like 4 of these are perfect. The problem is I gotta rebalance because for some reason these are going that way first. And I don't want that. So I need to figure out how to get that to stop. I'm thinking, stop that. And maybe this? We're gonna have to rebalance this around, but 3 of these will yield 4 of these. It's just a matter of figuring out the priority and making sure that these are all balanced in a way that they actually work, so that they're not going where they don't need to go, because you can see this one is now struggling, but this one is taking too much. So at this point, it's just a matter of rebalancing. As you can see, this one's too much, so we have enough to take care of what we need. Which is kind of stupid and kind of annoying that I gotta figure out how to do this. So if I do this, I move that one over, keep that one there, or I put one here, we split this in half, we create a loop here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and we create a loop here. That should solve our issue. Oh no, yeah, we'll put one over there, we'll create a loop here, so that way the middle one will split off both that way and that way, and that should take care of our problem, which actually I should do now that I've thought about that. So we'll come over here. That means we're gonna end up having to deal with some things, so we'll... Oh yeah, I gotta love when you get that first major delete lag. So you move you right. This is in the way. I gotta move that over a little bit. Sweet. Oops. Gotta get used to this. All right, you. Why are you struggling to? I feel like it's off grid for some reason. It was. Gotta love when that happens. Okay, so you go right there. You need to be moved to right there and down one. Oops. You need to be moved to the center. And we need to create a loop here. So we're going to want to throw in another one of you in here. Well, actually, if I put you here, we are going to have to move all of this back by one, and I'm probably going to move this back one by one because we're going to need to set up over here. Gotta love when you try and fix issues. I don't know why it feels like going off. Oh right, because that's that one, so that's gonna be off either way, so we'll put you there. Then if we take you, we can have you come into there, you slap into there, you slap into there. Then we can delete this one. So that should split it evenly towards these two and towards these two. Oops. We're gonna move you back. By one. Why are you off? That's an annoying bug. That goes right there. Then we'll delete this out of the way because we gotta move all of this because I want to make this look nice. Instead of dealing with that, I'm just going to yeah. Perfect. Now we can re-slap everything back in. Belts. Right, I gotta take that off. Gotta love the bugs in the game though sometimes. Whee! They get real fun. Okay. So we want that one to go into there and into there. We want that one to go into there. That one to go into there. Actually, I gotta loop this. I gotta loop it because this has to split between these two. Whoop. This one has to split between these two, and that one has to split between these two. But I also want to either. So much fun. Anyways, I'll get it done. I'll figure it out. For now, let's just get these back and up and running. So you, and you. Yeah, it's not gonna be perfectly in line, but it's fine. I'll just deal with it as is. Now we need the smelter again. Perfect. Now we can throw in the belt, which is here. And we can get this slapped into there, which goes in a fun way. I believe it was these. And we need this for this, which I should throw that in there. This should go back into here. Because I want to trash as much of this as possible. And we can go back into this. We got glass done, so I'm going to have to throw that all into, oops, no. I'm going to have to go throw it all into the whatever, storage is. Okay. Gotta love when things back up because he just randomly throw in stuff. Yay! Okay. I think we're kind of good on glass. I'm gonna set up some storage so we can get glass going in. We're gonna need at least 200, so for now, let's just get one of these in. What was it? C? We'll get one right here. And one right there, and then... Right, gotta turn the Y off. You into here. You into here. You into there. And there. Alright, we'll call it here. If you guys enjoyed, please like. If you didn't, I understand. I didn't do much but talk and everything else in between. If you guys want to see more of this series, make sure to check out the channel. If you want to see other games I play, check out the in-screen credits. I do play other games in the process. If you want to be added on to the in-screen credits like these people, make sure to publicly subscribe. After a certain amount of time, I'll add you on. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed and come back for more. I'm going to get ready for the next episode. And that means a bit of grinding, a bit of prepping, and reorganizing and figuring out the math needed to deal with this, which, oops, I forgot to set up healing. Yay! Which, thankfully, I got at the end. Anyways, I'm gonna let, if you guys want to be added on to the in-screen credits, make sure to publicly subscribe. After a certain amount of time, I'll add you on. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed, and you come back for more. I probably repeated myself, but oh well. Alright, let's get ready for the next episode, which means a lot of reorganizing and everything. Once the credits roll out, I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna. Okay. Let's just finish setting up what we can here. And then I'm gonna throw these all into research, and then after that, yay, probably do some more exploring, because we need to find a few items in the process. I must have missed, this must be looping a second time, because I feel like the in credits should have already, oh, there they are. Alrighty, bye-bye.